What's going on, y'all? We got the battle, me versus David Tyler, and it was actually a pretty long battle. It lasted 50 turns, so I sped it up a ton to just get this going. So I have my Roxas here, and it's a dark type Sylvally, and that way it could resist the knockoffs and stuff from this Persian, but it turns out in the end he didn't even have knockoff, and I thought that was dumb. So it brings in the Florges, which is the perfect counter to a dark type Sylvally, and Heatran just became the #1 switch-in against this Florges because it can know taunts, it can know a bunch of other stuff. So I go for the toxic actually because I know it's gonna have aromatherapy, and I wanna just bait out stuff like aromatherapy and the wish so I can taunt it later. But here we find out that this is a Trick Room Slowbro, and that became really annoying. And David does a great job of not Mega Evolving his Slowbro, because with that, he gets the Regenerator ability still. So he goes into Drampa, and this thing was just such a pain. So his Energy Ball is doing a ton of damage, and I just decided to stall out the Trick Room, so I'm just constantly hitting Recover, and just healing myself up a little bit, and it's actually doing more damage than I can heal off, so eventually I just can't do this anymore. And I go into Heatran, and he goes for the Energy Ball again. I ×4 resist it, so I'm like, sweet, here we go. And I figured that it would have something for Heatran because just Drampa is just a very versatile Pokemon. So I go back into the Jellicent, and it turns out he actually has Surf. So I get to restore my health, and I'm super happy about this, and I decided to Will-O-Wisp so I can just at least get a little bit of damage off on this thing. And just the whole Energy Ball business, just back and forth, and just still trying to get this Trick Room to go away so I can bring in some of my better Pokemon to handle this Drampa. You can see why I fast forwarded, because a lot of the battle is just this constant clicking Recover and just stalling out everything. But he actually goes for the Draco Meteor here, and I was like, oh dang. And like a champ, Saix lives this damage, and he allows me to do some good stuff. So he goes into Florges, and I right here go for the Recover. And I'm not faster, so I decided to go into Heatran just in case he wants to Moonblast or something, and I figured he'd go for the Aromatherapy to keep his stuff healthy. And unfortunately, I didn't put enough EVs into my Jellicent to be faster. But he actually goes into Donphan. I just click Toxic again, hoping he'd go back into his Drampa. That was my phone, that's just unprofessional. So, right here, I go back into Sylvally, because I figured he'd either go for Earthquake or Knockoff, and I didn't want to stay in just in case, and goes for that, and I just figured let's hit him with the Ice Beam. And he gets up his Rocks here, which is a pretty good play, because I actually didn't bring my Defogger this game, so those Rocks will be there to stay, and they get to be such a pain later. But he brings in the Florges once again, and I don't know why I hard switched. I could have just clicked U-turn and he got a little extra damage, but I didn't. I'm an idiot. I don't know why, but you know, it gets this going up, and I'm just, you know, just trying to wear down this thing. And when I recorded this the first time, it was 18 minutes long, so I was like, no, I'm not having that. So I just reduced it to 7. So all of this is sped up by ×2, and then it gets ×4 halfway through because it's just this constant stalling ridiculousness. But I taunt this Persian, and I figure right here, I'm like, okay, well, he's going to go for a knockoff, so I'm going to go right into Sylvally. But he actually just brings in the Drampa, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just go for Ice Beam and see what happens. And just from that damage, I just learned from that point that he is an Assault Vest Drampa, which is unfortunate because I didn't bring a lot of physical attackers this game. My only physical attacker was really my Miltank. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to drop some Body Slams, and we'll see what happens. But he goes into Scizor, drop the Body Slam, and I get the Paralysis. And I'm like, this is awesome. So I go for the Fire Punch, and I almost kill him. And right here, I'm assuming he was either going to go for a U-turn or a Superpower, but it really didn't matter because I had Chople Bear, and I could have lived that and then killed the Scizor. So right here, we just speed this up ×4 because it's pretty slow, I'll be honest. This was a slow part of the game because neither of us could really just get that edge on the other guy. So, you know, I'm using Toxic and Taunt. He's just switching between Drampa and Florges, just keeping everything healthy. And it became just a big game of predicting what the other person's going to do. You know, if he's going to go for energy ball, is he going to go for surf, is he going to go for taunt, because if Florges gets taunted, it's just over. And unfortunately, I couldn't get that taunt off when I wanted it, so there he just healed, 3 or 4 different Pokemon, and he gets the crit, and I decided to burn this thing to just whittle it down a little bit, just to do something, because really I wasn't doing anything well. And here I'm still convinced that it's a knockoff, and I thought he was going to go for a knockoff there, but he actually goes for taunt. And the parting shot, which is just annoying. Lava Plume. And here I could have gone for taunt, but I thought he would go for a water move, predicting that. So unfortunately, no, he gets the Trick Room up again, which is annoying. And right here is where the game actually takes a solid turn. So I go for the Dark Pulse, and he increases his health, and I switch out, go into Heat Rain, he goes for the Energy Ball, and then I just kind of guess he'd go for a Surf again, but actually he stays in, goes for the Surf, gets a ton of damage off on me, and I think he's going to go for a Surf again, so I go into my Greninja, but he actually switches out, goes into Florges, probably wanting to heal up, and this is where the game takes a big turn. So I go for the Scald, just trying to get damage off, and I'm just hoping and praying he uses the Moonblast to kill me, because with this death, it allows me to go into my Xemnas, which he is the leader. He is number one. He is the champion, and you'll see right here what happens. So I had him have Air Balloon so I could switch in on to Donphan and set up. So I go for the Nasty Plot, and going into Slowbro is a good move because he resists both my stabs. And right here he Mega Evolves, and I think he was just like, alright, I need as much defense as possible to take what's coming next. And I go for the Dark Pulse, and it just dominates his Slowbro. And he goes into Persian, so right here I'm thinking, alright, whatever, he goes for the Fake Out. And I'm not justified, I'm actually steadfast, so it increases my speed, so even if that Scizor is Choice Scarfed, I'll still be able to outspeed him. So Vacuum Wave, a priority move, takes it out in one hit. He brings in the Florges, a Flash Cannon, that thing goes down. Comes in with the Scizor, I take that bad boy out. People punches me, and for a brief moment my heart just stopped because I thought he was going to use Superpower and be faster than me, but luckily he wasn't. And then Drampa finally comes in, the Vacuum Wave, knocks him out. See you later. So now the next fight is between Kinch and Robbins, and since I'll be up at point, I'll probably do that match in person, so that'll be dope. But good game, David, and I don't know, maybe I'll see you back in the grand finals. Alright, peace.